Hi everybody, it's Linda and Jess with Total U Health.
Hi.
We are here even though you're seeing a computer screen. We're a little bit early, but we're just going to go ahead and jump right on in. We get a lot of questions at the office about bioenergetic testing, and I'm just going to show you, and I hope I can get this right. There's Jess.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm just going to show them this.
Oh,
to start
this?
with.
Okay. Yeah.
So literally, this is all it is.
There you go.
So it's using this little plate and these probes right here. And you've probably, those of you who've actually tuned into this before, sorry, have heard a little bit about this, but basically it is gives an energetic reading of what's going on in your body. So we all have a chemical makeup, and we all have an energetic makeup. And you know, our cells all have a positive and negative charge, which is how material moves in and out of the cell. So that is what I call our energetic field. And this is a proven fact. You know, science uses this with EEGs, EKGs. Those are literally electronic representations of what is going on in our brains and our hearts. MRIs work that way. But this also works with that energetic field. And so Jess is actually going to demonstrate how this testing works. And we're going to show you two different tests today. The first one we're going to do is called a comprehensive scan. And so Jess is going to hold those two probes. And by the way, there are a couple of contraindications to this. So if you have anything implanted electronically, like a pacemaker, a cochlear implant, or anything like that, you're not really a candidate for this. As well as if you've had an organ transplant. Anything else, though, you're able to do this. And it's very sensitive to cell phones, watches, you know, Apple Watch and all that stuff. So before testing, you have to remove any jewelry, except for something that you might wear all the time, as well as those watches and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And as you can see, Jess is holding those probes.
Yep.
And I'm going to bring this in close so you guys can actually see live what's going on. All right, see that picture of the body? You can see right to the side of that, the scan. And we're actually going to come back to that scan in just a few minutes. That scan shows general areas of weakness, like heart, brain, lung. This one is actually breaking it down into much more specific areas. So you see different colors here. Red is an area of weakness that the body is able to compensate for. Yellow is an area of weakness that the body is working overtime to try to compensate for, and it's still not able to do that. So while this is running, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about these colors in green. On that other scan that we just saw, green is an area of healthy cells. So obviously we're not concerned about those areas. I mean, we're happy that they're healthy, but we don't need to do anything to bring those into balance. On this screen, however, these are balancing agents, or basically what the scan is showing that Jess needs to balance all these areas. So you can kind of follow along here. We just have a few more that it's going to go through, and then we're going to go back to that other scan and kind of see what we want to see with that. Any areas that had red or yellow, we want them to be green. That means that they're balanced temporarily. All right, so now it's going through. So she had a total, I hope you guys can see this, a total of 17 different things, which honestly is on the low side. That's actually good. You don't want to have a lot of signatures. All right, so she just put that up. And I'm going to go back to that. It's called the baseline screen. Okay, so see where there's some areas of color like the red and the yellow. On this side, we still have one area that needs to balance. It actually got better. So obviously yellow is, if there is a worse color, it's yellow. And it got better because it got, brought it to red. But we still need to do something to balance that out. When you come in and when that actually happens, we do have ways that we can tell the computer how to balance it. So I'm not going to show you that now. That's just something that, keep in the back of your hat there, and we can do that when you come in for testing. But what we would do from this point is literally, do you want to hold the drops up here?
Do you want this drop?
Yeah. So literally, Jess has a bottle of our homeopathic remedy. So those are the remedies for Jess that are going to clear or help balance these areas of weakness. So these drops work really hard to pull the toxins out of the cells that are causing all these areas of weakness. So it will pull toxins out, but our bodies aren't able to get rid of all of that all at one time. So what we do in combination with this is add a drainer or a binder. Did I not pull one up? No. Probably not. Okay.
But this
so
is
here's
one
an example. Yeah, milk thistle. You've probably heard of charcoal. This is the same type of thing. It binds toxins and gets them out of the body, and they're all herbal. And we will actually test to see which drainer is right for you for each given test. And so on this test, if we were to make up Jess's homeopathic remedy, it says that she should take 13 drops twice a day for 3 weeks. And literally with a homeopathic, you want to make sure that you are staying within the 45-minute rule, which is 45, do the drops and the drainer 45 minutes before or after food, before or after any type of medicine, before or after any supplements, before or after mints. So think brushing your teeth. That's kind of the biggest challenge, especially if you have to go to work in the mornings. But you don't have to do these right first thing in the morning. You can take it to work and do, mid-morning, mid-afternoon, whatever you can do to get these in. All right, so that's the first test. So it tells you, basically it goes through all your systems, glands, and organs and tells you areas of weakness. Now, one big thing I want to mention, we are not diagnosing and we are not prescribing any medications. That is not within our scope. So we literally are using your energetic patterns to tell us areas of weakness, and we're using what the system suggests as something you can do to help balance the body. That's it. So we are not prescribing and we're not diagnosing anything. All right, the other test that I want to show you is an info scan. And this is really helpful because it goes through structures in our body like teeth and vertebrae, but it also goes through to tell you if there's any vitamins or minerals that might help balance the body. It goes through hormones to see if there's anything you could do there, and it just basically makes recommendations on how to balance the body within this info scan. So Jess is going to do the probes again, and all these tests take about a minute. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that one.
And it's not painful at all. Like, you really don't feel anything.
Every once in a while, if somebody's, sensitive to, energetic pulses, they might feel a pulse, but it's really a weak feeling. I personally don't feel anything when I do this. All right, so I'm going to bring this closer again.
Yeah, this info scan, normally this one comes up with a lot more than just...
Yeah, so like she said, the info scan all of them take about a minute. Some take a little less than that. And I'm really sorry, guys, if I'm moving this. I'm trying to get it centered in the screen. Yeah, so this one takes about a minute. This one and one of the others that we'll show in an upcoming session are going to show a lot of different signatures because they're trying to check a lot of different things. So when this is done running, I'm going to kind of sort this and put it in order so you can better see some of the things that it comes up with. One other thing that I can mention up here, I don't know if you can see that, but it shows an amplification level. So there are 15 different levels that the test can go, and the higher the number, it means that it's able to get deeper within the body. The body does a really good job of telling us what it's able to handle. And you can't rush that process. If that amplification level is a 1, then that's where your body says it needs to go and clear that before it can go any deeper. So it found 37 things. Honestly, that's right about the average number that we see for this test. And so once that's done, that's usually the time that I test to see which drainer would be best for her for this test. But we're going to skip that part so you can just see the basics and see what all this test can show. So she just let go of those probes. You probably heard that little sound. That means it's running the test. And I'm just going to go up here and sort it. All right, so I don't know if you can see these, but it showed some amino acids that might need to be supported, a fatty acid, a few different hormones. So it goes through structures, again, like teeth. Let me arrow down on this test. It showed a few minerals, like iron, potassium. There's a few neurological factors. How are you sleeping, Jess?
No, you already know, not very well.
So that's why those neurological filters came up. Jess has had an issue with sleep a little bit lately. You can see some supplements that it's talking about around, also with vitamins, a few vitamin signatures. So, I'm basically showing you what this testing can show you. We've had a number of people that have low energy that really they've done testing and there's no real explanation for. And they've gone on the drops and they've seen some success just by balancing some of these things. And the really great thing about this is that you don't have to buy all these supplements. It's literally part of your homeopathic remedy. So we can talk more about that when you come in the office, but for the first time visit, it's only $25. That would include 1 body scan, 1 homeopathic, and 1 drainer. So all of that, all this information for just 25 bucks. So if you want to find out, some things about what might be going on in your body, 25 bucks is really cheap for you to find out some of that information and maybe give suggestions on what you could do to help those areas of weakness. So if you guys have any questions, please post them. We'll try our best to answer them. Jess, do you have anything to add? Oh, can you tell how you have felt?
Okay, so...
You want me to turn around?
Sure. So, I think I'm on my 5th round of drops. I don't know. It's been a lot of rounds, but when we first got the QEST4 system, I was really struggling with energy to the point where I would sleep 12, 13, 14 hours at a time, and I would still be just beat down, exhausted, and not like an oversleeping exhausted, but genuinely wiped out. Had no reason for it except for I had just gotten over mono the year before, and it was just a progressive thing that was happening. And so when we did the QEST4 scan for me, there are several things. One, my body wasn't absorbing nutrients as much as it should be, so I had to increase my fiber intake as well as a multivitamin to help, supplement those areas. I chose to take those on my own, but the drops in the drainer itself, it was like within a week, my energy, I was a totally different person. I was finally having great workouts in the gym. I was sleeping well. I could run off of a normal 8 hours of sleep. I was thinking clearly again. I just felt so good. And every time I do the drops, it's like I just feel better and better and better. Whether it be, joint pain. I was struggling with joint pain a while ago. Not anymore after like the third round. And then this past round, again, it was the energy thing and the nutrient absorption because I stopped taking the proper supplements. And I'm back to feeling really good. And yes, I've been struggling with sleep, but it's been getting better the past few nights. So
awesome.
It's worth it, guys. If you don't try it, you gotta try it. That's all I gotta say.
All right. So, and if you have any other questions or want to see other testimonials, you can go to our Facebook page. What else? Our website. We have a newsletter that we send out, but many people have done this and have seen some really good results. So we hope you will come and try it. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to post them below. And other than that, I think that's it. So next week, I will actually be live at a women's health event. So be sure to check in. That starts, I believe, next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. And again, it's Tuesday at 6 instead of Wednesday. We're going to be posting about that as well. But just wanted to make sure you guys had a heads up. After that, we'll go back to our Wednesday, and the next 2 scans we'll do is a main body scan that can show you possible physical supplements that you might want to incorporate with everything else, as well as a neurotoxin scan. And neurotoxin scans pull heavy metal, mold, viral, bacterial, and chemical toxins. So that's another really powerful scan. But anyway, until then, we're signing off. Have a great evening.
Thanks, guys. I'll push the button. Bye, guys. Have a good night.